And in the book Wheat Belly, notice the title of the book, Wheat Belly, Dr. William Davis, he shows that sugar particularly, sugar and the hybridised wheat, and the hybridised wheat is found in most breads, cakes, cereals, pastas, pizzas. Because it gets the blood sugar level up so high, so fast, as we looked at this morning, then very quickly it's dumped as a visceral fat on the belly. And we're going to put refined sugar. And this is the pure crystallised acid that's extracted from the sugarcane plant. And there's a little book by William Dufty called Sugar Blues. Because what does sugar cause? The blues. In fact, in the book, he mentions a British endocrinologist called Dr. John Tintara. He's made the statement, scary statement, he said no one should go on psychiatric medication until they've had a glucose tolerance test first.
Did you know that some of the most common foods in your kitchen could be silently harming your body? These everyday choices might seem harmless, but they carry hidden dangers that could lead to serious health issues over time. Today, Barbara O'Neill exposes the foods that could be doing more harm than good and reveals the simple changes you can make to protect your health. Let's dive in and uncover which foods are best left off your plate. Disclaimer: the information provided in this video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Do not disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have read or seen in this video. Soda. Soda may be a popular beverage, but Barbara explains that it's loaded with refined sugars and high fructose corn syrup, which can cause a rapid spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash.
And when you think about it, most people are educated from media. And the media that they are most educated from is basically the television. And they have the most beautiful models, and they have the most handsome models, and they're advertising the sugars, they're advertising the Coca-Colas, they're advertising candies and chocolate bars. And the message, the subliminal message coming through is, you will be this happy and look this good if you eat that. Isn't that true?
This constant cycle strains the pancreas, forcing it to release insulin repeatedly, which can lead to insulin resistance and increase the risk of type 2 diabetes. Beyond blood sugar, soda is highly acidic, which can erode tooth enamel and weaken bones over time. According to a study in Korea, drinking sugary drinks like soda can be bad for your health, especially for your brain. The review talks about different studies that show how these drinks can hurt our thinking and memory. One study looked at a chemical called sodium benzoate, which is found in many sodas. Researchers found that this chemical made mice forget things and have trouble moving around. It also lowered a protective substance in the brain called glutathione, and increased a harmful substance that shows brain damage. This means that even a little bit of sodium benzoate can be harmful, especially for kids who drink a lot of soda. Another study found that when pregnant women drink a lot of sugary drinks, their children might become overweight and have health problems, even if they eat less food. This is because the drinks can change how their bodies manage weight. The study also mentions that drinking too much sugar from sodas can hurt kids' thinking skills. However, eating healthy foods can help fix some of these problems. Overall, the review says that more people, especially young adults, are drinking sodas, and this can lead to serious health issues like weight gain and problems with thinking.
Because what's happening is people are taking things into their body that leach the minerals. So what leaches minerals? Because as you can see, it's all about minerals. What leaches the minerals is refined sugar. In fact, one writer said, sugar leaves the body better dressed than when it went in. It went in totally naked and comes out dressed with your minerals. Another that leaches the minerals is caffeine. See, these are all poisons. And what poisons do, they harm the body. So the body uses minerals to calm them down, so that they don't totally kill you.
Barbara O'Neill recommends replacing soda with water or herbal teas as a far healthier option for hydration. Margarine. A review published in the journal Foods explains that margarine, which often contains harmful fats called trans fats, poses serious health risks. These unhealthy fats are created through a process called hydrogenation, where vegetable oils are made solid to improve the shelf life and texture of products like margarine. However, research shows that eating trans fats can increase the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and other health problems because of how they affect cholesterol levels. Trans fats raise low-density lipoprotein or bad cholesterol, which can build up in blood vessels and lead to blockages. At the same time, they lower high-density lipoprotein or good cholesterol, which helps clear out excess cholesterol from the body. This creates an imbalance that puts a lot of stress on the heart and increases the chance of high blood pressure, artery problems, and even strokes.
So what are the dangerous fats? The dangerous fats would be the altered fats. The other dangerous fat is the huge amount of fat that's dumped in the body from the high carbohydrate, high sugar diet, which we also looked at when we looked at the liver. So what are the altered fats? One of the most dangerous altered fats is the margarine. Margarine was introduced in the 1980s to help prevent heart disease. Has it? No. It's made no difference at all. And what's the definition of insanity? To do what you've always done and expect different results? No, it hasn't made any difference at all. Because, as we have learned, it is not fat that causes heart disease. But this is an altered fat. How do they make margarine? Let's say they're going to make it out of flaxseed. Well, they've got a problem, and that is it's liquid. So we've got to make it solid. So what they do is they saturate it with hydrogen ions, and that causes one of the hydrogen atoms to flip over to the other side, which now means the double bond's gone. And to be able to saturate it with hydrogen ions, they have to use a catalyst. And the catalyst is usually aluminium. That's probably the most common catalyst. And I think most people are aware of the link between aluminium and damage in the brain. Now we've got a solid fat. That's a very dangerous fat. In fact, it's only one molecular structure short of plastic. And when margarine comes into the body says, I do not recognise you. And so what it does, it quickly has to either store it. We're talking about lipomas before, you know, those fatty lumps that people are getting in their body. It's basically, well, there are a few theories, but one theory is that the body can't get rid of the poisons quickly enough, so it just binds it up in a little fatty lump. Skin cancer rates have risen since people have been eating margarine. It is a proven fact that macular degeneration is caused by margarine. You see, the fine mechanisms in the eyes, in the ears, in the brain, they love this omega-3, but if you're not giving it the omega-3, it's just got to use whatever's available.
Beyond heart health, trans fats also cause inflammation, which can harm cells and weaken the immune system. Long-term inflammation from eating trans fats can lead to insulin resistance, making it harder for the body to control blood sugar levels and increasing the risk of diabetes. Because of these serious effects, many countries have set limits on trans fats or banned them from foods.
There are fats that'll kill and there are fats that'll heal. And because there are some killer fats, they've all been dumped in the same basket. What are the killer fats? The altered fats. You see, for centuries, people used the coconut oil and the olive oil. They can be extracted from the flesh of the plant. The only oils that I use are the coconut oil and the olive oil.
Barbara suggests using healthier fats, like olive oil or grass-fed butter in moderation, to avoid these negative effects. White bread. White bread is a common staple, but Barbara explains that it's made from refined grains stripped of their fiber, vitamins, and minerals. This lack of fiber means that white bread quickly turns into sugar in the bloodstream, causing spikes in blood sugar followed by crashes that lead to cravings and fatigue.
Do you know what that means? A slice of white bread will get the blood sugar level up higher and quicker than a candy. And how many are a combination of these two? There's your donuts. You know, the healthiest thing about the donuts, the whole, you've probably heard that one. So cookies, biscuits, cakes. You go into a cake shop, everything is a combination of these two.
According to a review in BMC Medicine, a study looked at how different diets affect heart health and overall well-being, especially focusing on white bread. The study included over 116,000 people. Researchers checked what people ate to see how it impacted their health. The study found that eating a lot of refined foods, like white bread, chocolate, butter, and sugar, can increase the risk of heart disease and early death. People who ate more white bread usually ate fewer fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, which are important for staying healthy. This means that those who prefer white bread might not be getting the nutrients they need.
But there's something else that may surprise you. And there's something else that's actually causing blood glucose levels to go up even higher and even lower. And cereal is made out of it, bread's made out of it, cakes are made out of it, pie's made out of it, pizza's made out of it, pizza's made out of it. Whoa, what would that be? It's wheat. One man said to me, "Barbara, you're wrong." He emailed me, "Jesus is the bread of life." I said, "You're absolutely right. He is the bread of life. But the bread he's referring to is not the bread we have today." You see, in the 1950s, it was hybridized. It went through intensive crossbreeding to produce a plant with a high yield. 1970s, worldwide. By the 1990s, every cereal, bread, cake, pie, pizza, pasta is made out of the hybridized wheat.
Researchers identified two main eating patterns. The first pattern included high amounts of chocolate, butter, refined bread, and sugar, which was linked to a higher risk of heart disease and death. The second pattern involved a lot of sugary drinks and fruit juices, which also posed health risks. One reason for these health problems could be weight gain, as diets high in refined foods are often full of calories but low in nutrients. Instead, Barbara recommends whole grain breads, which have fiber that slows down digestion. This helps keep blood sugar levels stable and provides longer-lasting energy, giving the body steady fuel throughout the day. Whole grains also contain more nutrients than refined grains, supporting overall health and making them a much better choice for lasting energy. Canned soup. Canned soups are a convenient meal option, but Barbara O'Neill warns that they are often loaded with sodium and preservatives to extend shelf life. High sodium intake can raise blood pressure and put strain on the cardiovascular system, increasing the risk of hypertension and heart disease.
These are researchers, these are scientists, these are cardiovascular surgeons who are blowing the whistle that cholesterol does not cause heart disease. So what causes heart disease? It's damage to the arterial walls. And that's another reason why we've got to get the chemicals out of our life, out of our home. Can you turn this around? You can. We live in an amazing body with an inbuilt ability to heal itself. So the first step is abstain. You got to stop the chemicals. Don't do what one lady did. She said, "Barbara, thank you so much for the program. I went home, I cleaned out all my cupboards, and I gave it all to the poor people next door." My response is, poor people. I know it's hard, but you're going to save money.
According to a review in the Journal of the American Medical Association, a study looked at how eating canned soup affects the levels of a chemical called bisphenol A, or BPA, in our bodies. This study was done by researchers from Harvard University and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. They wanted to find out if eating canned soup would make people have more BPA in their urine, compared to eating fresh soup. In the study, 84 volunteers, mostly students and staff from Harvard, took part. They were split into two groups. One group ate fresh soup every day, while the other group ate canned soup for 5 days. After a short break, the group switched their soups. Researchers collected urine samples from the participants on the last 2 days of each soup eating phase to check how much BPA was in their urine. The results were surprising. BPA was found in 77% of urine samples after eating fresh soup, but it was found in 100% of samples after eating canned soup. This means that canned soup is a big source of BPA. The study showed that the average level of BPA in urine was much higher after eating canned soup than after eating fresh soup. This is important because BPA is a chemical that can be linked to health problems like heart disease and diabetes. The researchers stressed the need to understand where BPA comes from, especially in canned foods, and pointed out the possible health risks of eating these products regularly.
And another one is bisphenol A, or what's often called BPA. You know, you can get plastic that's BPA free, and they're usually the hard plastic. But notice what they all have. They all have the phenyl ring. And that's why plastics, they're called xenoestrogens. That's estrogen mimickers. They mimic estrogen, they get into the estrogen receptor site. That's one of the reasons for this hormone imbalance epidemic that we're seeing, is the exposure to the plastics.
Barbara recommends making homemade soups or looking for low-sodium options that use natural ingredients to avoid these risks. If you found this information helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more health tips and remedies.